The materials that we need, this is how to roll a clay slab. It's going to be wooden slats, a T-square, a fettling knife, a wire tool, a sponge, and your picture. This is the picture I decided to put on my slab today. Step one.
Step one, you cut block of clay in half.
And
cut your half in half and slam it with a rolling pin to flatten it about 1 inch or less. The other piece return to the bag and twist shut.
in this case, since there's 4 people at your table, you could probably share these pieces of clay. Rolling pins are over here. So make sure that there isn't any lumps of clay on them. And similarly, when you're done with them, just wipe them down. They don't need to go in the sink. You can just wipe them down. This is the fun part, people. Get out those frustrations on your slab of clay.
Already done.
Next, please.
Then you roll clay with a rolling pin using the slats.
The slats prevent the clay from getting too thin. I flip it back and forth, and that smooths it out. This is actually really fun. You want to stand when you do this, or that way you can put your body into it. But it's soft clay. It really isn't hard. Next.
Smooth rough edges with a damp, not dripping sponge to prevent cracking.
Next.
Mark a T on your slab using a T-square.
Upside down. The straight part that I'm cutting here represents the bottom of your slab. Does that make sense? Now, if you have a landscape picture for your slab, the straight line would be this way. Does that make sense? Okay. Picture is important because I want to make sure all the important items fit on my slab, and they do. It's not on your step-by-step sheet, but back in the bag should also be any scrap pieces of clay, because we'll reuse those. Next.
Cut the bottom of the slab so the bottom is flat, and make sure the slab is not taller than 11 inches or your sculpture won't fit in your shell.
So now I'm using this as an edge, marking 11 inches. Now I've got to think about silhouette. You don't have to cut this, you can trim it later, but basically you don't want to cut too much off in areas that you'll need for decoration. So I'm just going to make sure everything fits.
Place slab on drywall or board with paper towel underneath.
Now this is important just because we're going to wrap these in plastic, but the moisture, we don't want the moisture on the slab to all be absorbed into the board. Does that make sense? So if there's plastic on top, and then you have this absorbent thing underneath, it could dry more quickly on the bottom than it does on top. And we want to try to even out the drying times.
Cover your slab with in plastic so that no air will get in it.
Now, it says something on there about a second slab. So,
Oh, sorry.
No, that's my fault. I'm out of order.
Cut a second slab for the base and layer on your board with another paper towel.
This is going to be the base. So we're just going to cut a slab for it now. We're not going to worry so much about shape. Rolling it in the same way using the slats, and it's the same thickness. You want to make sure that it's at least as wide as your slab. And now we're going to put a plastic bag on top.
It'll be on YouTube. First time ever. Then we'll almost a touchdown pass.
Wrap it like this so it's ready for you tomorrow. And put it right on your shelf. Okay, cut it now.